What is important is not to learn these concepts. It's important to understand the basic construct, how certain things work. I'm Saurav Agarwal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Watch the video till the end and don't forget to attempt the assignment question at the end. Write your answer in the comments below. I'm going to give a heart to the right answer so that you can follow. So let us begin. We are using here an interactive notebook environment provided by Google Colab, which is free to use up to a certain limit. Additionally, it is an online browser-based platform which you can use from anywhere across your devices, right? Other advantages, you do not have to manage any environment for say. If you want to set up it locally in your machine, you can install Anaconda or you can set up Jupyter using pip. However, for the beginning of this tutorial, we will first understand how to have it using Google Colab to make things simpler for us. We shall first understand the difference between a series and data frame, the two data structures of Pandas. Series is a one-dimensional data structure in Pandas, whereas data frame is a two-dimensional data structure. Series in a way contains just one column, whereas data frame can contain n number of columns depending on the dimensionality that we want to provide. Okay. How do we create a series? There are two ways of creating a series. One is from list, the other is from dictionary, right? Let us first see how to create a series using a list. We create a list with 5 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We create a series by calling pd.series. Okay, what is pd? We imported the library pandas with the alias pd. This alias will help us to avoid writing pandas each time. You can just write pd and call respective functions in the pandas library. So pd.series is a function to create a series in pandas. We pass the list L. We give a name to this series. We specify the indices of these series A, B, C, D, E. You can give any index, just you have to ensure that the number of indices passed here should correspond with the number of values that we are passing. We give a data type to this index, to this series. If you do not give any data type, it will automatically try to understand what is the appropriate data type. For example, the data type for this particular series is integer. The series name is series 1. The values are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the corresponding indices are A, B, C, D, E. However, if we want to give a specific data type which is applicable in a sense, like say for example for a string type you cannot give the data type as float, that would be erroneous. However, here you can have float data type because these are numbers. So now you see the data type is changed to float, right? We have the same series but the data values are now floating values. Next, let us see how to create a series from a dictionary. Okay, we create a dictionary with keys and values. We pass these dictionaries to the pd.series function, name our series as partner. Now upon hitting enter, we see our series is generated with the keys of the dictionary corresponding to our indices, the values corresponding to the values of those of the series, name of the series is partner, data type is object. Okay. Now we will see how to create data frame in Pandas. Again, creating data frame can be done in two primary ways, from list of rows and from dictionary. We create a list which contains the list of rows. Okay, so you have to decide the number of columns that you want to give to your data frame beforehand, and you just create a list of the corresponding number of rows, and each row will contain the values which is equal to the number of columns. Say for example, here we are creating a data frame which is having 3 rows and 2 columns. Okay, so we have 2 values in each of our nested list and we have 3 such lists. pd.dataframe is the function to create a data frame. We pass this list of rows, we specify the name of the columns, okay, and we specify the index. If we do not specify the index, it will automatically assign the index in the numeric order starting from 0. Okay, now this list is created. We can specify the different names for the columns. However, the number of columns specified here should equal to the number of columns that you are defining for a data frame. Also, if you check the shape of this data frame using DataFrame dot shape, you will see it is 3, 2, which is what we defined earlier. Okay, you can give another indices also, keeping in mind the same thing, that the number of indices passed here should equal to the number of rows. Now, creating a data frame from dictionary. We create a dictionary where the key corresponds to the column name. The value for that key corresponds to the values in that particular column. Okay, so for example, here the name was our key and the values for this particular name is passed as the values of the data frame. Okay, hope this is making sense. You are understanding following things so far. What is important is not to learn these concepts, it's important to understand the basic construct, how certain things work in Pandas. You can readily find all these syntax available in the documentation. All we need to do is understand how the different constructs are working, and in our day-to-day practice, when we come across such terminologies, such functionalities, we must be able to understand what is happening there. This is the underlying objective, and with practice you'll get familiar with the different functionalities. Okay, in any actual application or in learning machine learning, data science, we just focus on understanding the concepts. We do not mug up things, right? Mugging up things would create a huge lot of burden because it's enormous. But once you understand the concepts, how the underlying principle works, things become much simpler. You'll be able to grasp multiple different ideas all together using one single concept. Okay, now, okay, let us now continue with our indexing in data frame and series. Okay, so primarily you can index using the normal, you can pass the values as, like, say for example, let us see some examples. If you want to select a particular column, okay, we have the data frame 2. If you want to select a particular column in your data frame, so you can do as data frame, and in the brackets you can give the name of that column. What is written when you index a particular column? Let us see. The type of this would be a series. See, if you see, so each column is a series in data frame. Okay, so series is just a special condition of a data frame, we can say. Now iloc and loc are used to index, right? Let us first understand the difference between iloc and loc. For this we are creating a data frame here. We these are the indices that we want to give our to their data frame. When specifying index, the ordering is not important, it is your choice. You can give it in any order as per your wish you want to assign to the data frame. We create a data frame here. It has two columns, height and weight. These are the corresponding values, and we pass the index as idx. Now hitting enter, we see our corresponding data frame is generated with the values, and the indices are assigned as we have in the list here. Okay, now if we are to select the second row, this row is the 0th row. Indexing in data frame starts from 0. Okay, this is the first row, this is the second row. So df3.iloc2, let us see what it gives. It gives us 5.8 as height, 45 as weight, which is our second row starting with index 0. Remember, indexing starts at 0. Let me zoom this a bit to make things much more simpler. I'll attach this notebook link as well to the description. Do check that out and try to do it yourselves as well. Okay, now let us see any other. Say for example, we want to find the fifth. We don't have, let's see what happens. We won't have the fifth element here because there are only 5 elements altogether, 5 rows. So the fifth would be out of bounds. Let's say the fourth. Okay, so fourth is 5.1 comma 68. What happens when we give df3.iloc? Again, the sixth index is not available, so it would generate an error. However, if we give df3.loc, here so far we were using iloc. Now we are calling it using loc, loc. Now log 6 will give us 5.845. What is 5.8? Which one? This one, 5.845. Remember, this is our second row in respect to the ordering of the indices. However, the index name or the value assigned to this index is 6. So iloc, what iloc does is iloc takes into account the ordering of the indices, and based on that ordering it selects the particular row. Loc on the other hand selects the value of that index. Say for example we did here df3.iloc df3.log6, so it picked up the row whose index value is 6. If we do df3.log3, let us see what will happen. See, it is selecting the row with the index value 3, not the position 3. This is the primary difference. If you want to select a column along with this, you can do so as specifying here. Okay, so you get a value for a particular column at the index whose value is 3. Hope this is making sense. Now we'll learn one more important concept for this particular lecture, module 1, which is copying data frame. We understand there are two types of copy, deep copy and shallow copy. What shallow copy does is, shallow copy only stores the reference of the corresponding data frame, whereas deep copy, it copies the underlying value. Let us see. We created a data frame df3. Now we are copying it to df4 using shallow copy. Shallow copy is just assigning the reference. df5 on the other hand performs a deep copy on our data frame 3. Now this is our df4. Okay, these are the values. Now we change the value at the index whose value is 6 and the height of it to 6.2. So see, if you see, this is the index whose value is 6. We changed the value of height to 6.2. The weight is 45. Now if we print df4, display df4, you see the value here is changed as well. The original value was 5.8. It changed to 6.2 for df4, but for df5, which is having a deep copy, the value remains unchanged. Hope you understand this so far. These are some of the primary concepts that I want you to grasp, understand how data frame works, how series works, what are the underlying principles. Next up, we'll see one more technique, how to read data from a file in data frame. So first or foremost thing that we need to do is we need to just add a file here, upload a file in our Colab notebook. You can go to this particular section. Right, let me show you again. Here you see the file folder icon. Click on the folder icon, click on the file icon, you get an upload option, just upload it. Okay, now we have uploaded it. Let us read this file. Remember, this is a CSV file, but you can read different kinds of file, Excel, JSON, SQL, and all different files using the simple construct which will follow. Read CSV is used to read a CSV file. We specify the name of the file. Actually, this should be a corresponding path, but since these are in the same paths, we don't need to give that. This is the relative path, you can say. Okay. Now let us see what is there in our file. As you see, our data frame is loaded. These are the columns present in our data frame, and there are 2000 rows and 21 columns. We can check this using our shape attribute of the data frame. Okay. One important thing that I want to show all of you is how to learn more, how to go ahead and like explore the various Python tutorials, various Pandas tutorial, how to learn and explore it. This is one of the getting started tutorials provided by the Pandas itself. It contains various important, various small minute details and the different components that you need to know, explore. I will just share the link. I want all of you to go ahead and explore what is there. Okay, another thing that you can explore here is the API reference. The difference between the two is, getting started is more of kind of a tutorial, whereas API reference just provides you the functional constructs. Okay, so I just wanted to show you the input output construct for different. Say for example, to read pickle, To a pickle file, you have read pickle function. CSV, we use read CSV. Okay, to save the CSV file, you can call the function to CSV. Just explore these functions and you'll get to understand. If you find any difficulty, let me know in the comments. Okay, there are various different read JSON, read Excel, read HTML. Very simple to follow, very simple. Now coming to our assignment question. Now because you have watched the videos till here, I want all of you to ensure that you attempt the assignment questions. Make sure you attempt all the assignment questions. This will help you prepare for the interview level questions, and it will be fun to understand where we are facing problems, where we are facing challenges. So the first assignment question is how to change the data type of a column in DataFrame. So here we see there are two different columns, right? Each of this would have their own data type, right? For example, here is float, we have df4 weight dot d type. This is also float, this is integer. So how do you change the data type of, say, this height to integer, right, from float, without creating a new data frame, right? This should be kept in mind. Next question is how will you create an empty data frame in Pandas, right? So these are the two assignment questions. Empty data frame refers to like a data frame which just is defined by its shape, but it does not have any elements in it as of now. Okay, so these are the two assignment questions. Make sure you attempt it. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, like, share, and stay tuned for the next module. Have a nice day. Bye bye.